in 40 minutes of us was coming, and in 42 minutes another one was coming. I'm like, where was the one in 15 minutes, right?
right. Guys, let's think about it. Right.
Hey, yay! Okay. Oh, there you go.
Now I get up here and go, I can't see. Oh, yeah. Oops, sorry.
See?
Whoa. Okay. I'm wrecking your place here.
No.
Wait, it won't stay up here. No, anyway.
That's fine. There's no lip for that one. Oh, yeah.
I can do that. Okay, good. Got it. I love preparing for things. Okay. There's your pen.
Thank you for Oh, just sit in silence.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Montclair. My name is Marcus Gray-Haug. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I serve as the Director of Music Ministries for this congregation. It is good to be with you this morning, whether you're joining us in person in the sanctuary or virtually from other places. If you're in the space, please take out your cell phone, make sure it is silent and doesn't buzz, ring, or make other noises. Our reopening task force is continuing to evaluate COVID protocols based on the most recent data, and our updated safety guidelines are as follows. We ask that all who can be vaccinated. We request that you keep your masks on during the service, and we encourage social distancing in our well-ventilated sanctuary. A space is set aside in the front for families with unvaccinated children. Congregational and choir singing is permitted with masks on. We are reserving the narthex, that's the area where you came in, for those who wish to attend the service without increasing their risk of exposure. And that brings me to our fellow musicians this morning. We've got Reverend Scott on drums, and not 2 but 3 hymn leaders. We've got Kate Conroy. Where is she? Jennifer Rittner. And on air guitar and vocals, Glenn Rombo. Please come on up. And we're starting with the hymn of the month, which is an old American folk song, Bright Morning Stars. It's in your gray hymnal, number 357. Please feel free to rise in body or spirit to join us. Called Hush. It's in your turquoise hymnal, number 1040. 1040. Please be seated.
Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever age, ability, history, identity, gender, or sexual orientation, you are welcome to bring your full self here. I am Amy Brabson. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Grounded in faith, we come together to nurture the soul, inspire hope, and bring into being a more just and loving world. In today's service, we will focus on the service that we do as individuals and a congregation to ensure that we continue, as our hymn proclaimed, on the road from greed to giving. This is our service of the living tradition, and it is unique as a capstone to our congregational year, the service that precedes our annual meeting. We would like to thank Laura Wilson for her contributions to our chancel through the month of June. Please see your This Week at UUCM bulletin for other important information. And after today's service, we have an abbreviated in-person Connection Cafe through this door into Fletcher Hall. The annual meeting will commence at 11:15 promptly. So get your coffee and bring it back here if you like. Please register for the annual meeting right after the service if you did not do so before. Today, for our congregational connection, we have our leaders ritual.
Leaders modeling healthy leadership. Our leaders take on leadership roles, and then when the proper time comes, we let those leaders go. We try and make sure that service for this congregation is not a life sentence. So in today's service, we honor those who are stepping into new leadership roles. We honor those who are accepting new positions as well.
And our leaders uphold our congregation's mission. They do so with their dedication and with their love, and that can be a heavy weight at times. So we lift up their names with grateful hearts, knowing that we are far more for all they give and have given. And for each, we offer a rose, a tribute to your steadfast service, a sign of the inward and outward beauty that you have brought to our congregation.
So first, we will honor those who are leaving. Doug Andrews, who is ending his 3-year term on the Nominating and Leadership Development team.
And if you are here, please come forward and find a rose. Amy will present it to you. And if you are joining us in the chat, announce yourself there so that folks can celebrate you virtually. And we'll do our best to get you these roses if you're not here.
Our next leader who is leaving is David Bronstein, stepping down as Mesh Cafe coordinator. Chris Corbett is ending his term as our treasurer. Deb Corbett is stepping down as chair on the Council on Ministries. Stay on up here, Chris, for a bit, all right? Francesca Elms, if you're here, finishing her 3-year term on the Board of Trustees.
And Deb, you can come up here too.
Someone has to keep an eye on him. Someone has to keep an eye on him. Roz Gohagan, ending her 3-year term on the Nominating Leadership Development team. Claudia Sanders, leaving the role of Covenant Group Program Coordinator.
Which she was in for 16 years, by the way.
Yes.
And these are the folks who are both leaving a leadership position and accepting another. We lift up Peter Arian, ending his term on the board, joining the Nominating and Leadership Development team, and Peter's today teaching OWL.
Yes.
Shannon Gattens, transitioning from president-elect to president. Shannon, I know you hear me, even though you're in the narthex. Michael Hetrick, finishing his term as board president, entering his term as past president. Dan Silver, stepping down as men's group lead, joining nominating and leadership development team for a 3-year term. Nancy Silverman, transitioning from lead to lead emeritus on the membership team. And Laura Wilson, who was here earlier, dropping off our flowers, moving up from lead-elect to lead on the membership team and stepping into the role of Covenant Group Program Coordinator.
And here are those leaders who are accepting new positions. Nicole Gray is stepping in as chair of the Council on Ministries. Amy Haynes is stepping in as lead-elect for the membership. John Lytle is stepping in as board treasurer. Bob Rinklin stepping in as men's group lead. Sarah Scalette is stepping in as president-elect for the board. And Norma Tassi is stepping in as trustee-at-large for the board.
Leaders, we salute you with gratitude for the way that you model healthy leadership, the way you let go, and the way you say yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ours is a covenantal community, and we share a common covenant, a commitment to come together in service to the beloved community. Let's light our chalice as our chalice lighting affirmation is shared. Let us open our senses to take in the beauty. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another.
And it is now time for our Time for All Ages. I'm Reverend Anya, she, her, hers, and I have the honor of serving today in the Time for All Ages with Amy Brabson, our liturgist, and Rev Scott here in the center. Here's a story from Anthony DeMello called Use Your Gold.
A miser hid his gold at the foot of a tree in his garden. Every week, he would dig it up and look at it for hours. Until one day, a thief dug up the gold and made off with it. When the miser came to gaze upon his treasure, all he found was an empty hole. The man began to howl with grief. So his neighbors came running to find out what the trouble was. When they found out, one of them asked,
Did you ever use any of your gold?
Well, if you call looking at it once a week using, yes, but other than that.
Well, then for all the good that the gold did you, you might as well just come here every week and stare at that hole.
What is our story telling us?
I'm not sure what the story's telling us, but I want justice. Who took my gold?
I don't think that's the moral of the story.
Let's turn to the community then. Often the community has a better handle on the moral of the story than any one individual in it. Communities are wise like that. So if you're joining us virtually, type your answer into the chat. What is the moral of the story? And here in person, we welcome your thoughts aloud. What is the moral of the story? Use what you have when you have it. What do you think, miser?
That doesn't sound like a good advice for a miser. Maybe I shouldn't be so miserly.
Anybody else? Any different takes on this? That was pretty much right on, so we can go with that one. This ends our Time for All Ages, and remember, use your gold. called to find depth in our days and discover reverence in this hour. We seek a gentle meditation, a focused reflection, an ardent prayer, each as we are called and yet all together. And we enter into this space by hearing the lamentations, the requests, and the remembrances of our community. Let us hear one another to heal one another. Sue and Tom Parente grieve the loss of their dear friend, Miri Colvin, age 93. Miri, a former therapist, artist, intellectual, and sparkling human being, passed away after being airlifted from a small community hospital to a larger facility in Massachusetts. Miri, who had become a mother to us, lived a long, rich, loving, and inspiring life. Rest in peace, Miri Colvin. We light this next candle for David Bronstein's father, Irving Bronstein, who's experiencing significant pain following a surgery. May David travel safely to be with his father, and may comfort and peace come. We light this next candle for Patrick O'Connor's healing. New members to this congregation, Patrick and Louise, are experiencing the challenge of a health struggle. Please hold Louise and Patrick in your prayers. We light this candle to mark yet more acts of atrocious gun violence, this time at a hospital in Tulsa, a funeral in Racine, and a police officer shot in West New York. Let us work to inspire acts of courage and wise public policies to create solutions to this epidemic. We light this candle for Judith Rue's daughter, Emma, who has COVID. May she fully recover, and we also light a candle for Judith Rue, who just got out of the hospital after a bout of pancreatitis. May she fully recover. And we light this final candle for the joys and the sorrows that are deeply felt but have not been spoken aloud. May we hold this silence as the silence holds us. And I invite you to continue with me now in this spirit of prayer or intention as you are moved. Today, let us give blessings. Blessed are the exhausted, the frustrated, and the forlorn. Blessed are those who know the weight of worry. Blessed are those who know they cannot carry others' burdens, but still do what they can to lighten another's load. Blessed are the ones on the margins who are pushed daily to navigate the treacherous spaces of others' expectations. Blessed are the young and the old, the inexperienced and the old hands. Blessed are those who begin again and again and again after faltering and failure. Blessed are those who give up, then return, who give in, then resume. Blessed are those who let go. Blessed are those who do not know that they are blessed. Blessed are those who cannot feel that they are blessed. Blessed are those whose blessings are questioned. Blessed are those for whom blessings feel strange. Blessed are all of these and more, for they will inherit their ancestors' burdens and dreams. for they will carry the next generation to places of peace. For they will know peace in moments and love over a lifetime. Blessed, blessed be. Amen. You're welcome to remain seated as we share our prayer response. This is 1053 in your teal hymnals. How could anyone? 1053.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
How could anyone ever doubt your beauty, your capacity, your gifts? 80% of what you offer will care for our congregation, and 20% will support our June and July recipient, South Ward Environmental Alliance, SWEA. South Ward was founded in 2015 by Kim Gaddy, a fourth-generation Newark resident and mother of 3 asthmatic children. Raising 3 children in the backyard of the second largest port with 25,000 truck trips per day and 4,500 of them on the local roads of the South Ward, Kim Gaddy knew she needed to combat this environmental health injustice. The South Ward Environmental Alliance is a community-based organization creating healthy and vibrant neighborhoods by ensuring residents are active participants in making the decisions that impact their neighborhood. Regardless of race, neighborhood, or financial status, we all deserve access to healthy community. Ushers, please come forward. You can text UUCM plate and your amount to 73256 to give. Mail us a check with SWEA in the memo, or simply place your gift in the offering basket. All of your gifts are worthy, and they are all received with love. Our reading is Beloved Community by Kathleen McTeague. Here, in the refuge of this Sabbath home, we turn our busy minds toward silence and our full hearts toward one another. We move together through the mysteries, the bright surprise of birth, and the shadowed questions of death. In our slow walk between the two, we will be wounded, and we will be showered with grace, amazing, unending. Even in our sorrows, we feel our lives cradled in holiness we cannot comprehend. And though we each walk within a vast loneliness, the promise we offer here is that we do not walk alone. This is a holy place in which we gather. The light of the earth brought in and held, touched then by our answering light. The flame on a chalice, the flicker of a candle, the lamps of our open faces brought near. In this place of silence and celebration, solemnity and music, we make a sanctuary and name our home.
All the evenings and the mornings will be one when I'm gone. Can't be singing louder than the guns when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. All my days won't be dances of delight when I'm gone. And the sands will be shifting from my sight when I'm gone. Can't add my name into the fight when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't be laughing at can't live proud enough to die when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. There's no place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. And I won't know the right from the wrong when I'm gone. You won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it. I guess I'll have to do it. I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here.
All right, well, you guys got me. I've forgotten the line now. I won't be able to sing louder than the guns when I'm gone. Thought I knew that song better. Thank you very much for that awesome rendition of Phil Oakes' When I'm Gone, and reminding us that, as the miser learned in our story, you can't take it with you, and we've got to do it while we're here. It's amazing we need to be reminded of things that we're going to have to do it while we're here, isn't it? Indeed, it's amazing many of the things about which we need to be reminded. And today's service is indeed one such reminder. This in our service of the living tradition, where we remind ourselves who we are, from whence we come, the ancestors who made this all possible, and we acknowledge the past, present, and future leaders who will keep us vital and vibrant. In a few moments, Reverend Anya is going to reflect on the question, what's in a name? And this is another reminder that language is a tricky thing. Take the word home. Some have few or no fond memories of home. This is why you will often hear me resist referring to the congregation as a home, because for some, home has not meant a place of safety or nurture. Indeed, many are still running away from homes they found mean, corrosive, or worse. That's why we speak so much here about creating beloved community, doing so with fellow seekers who have chosen to be part of this mission and this journey to compose a family and, okay, perhaps a home of our own making. Indeed, even Jesus teaches that you may have to leave your family of origin to discover those who will best nurture your spirit, to help you find and remain on the path that is right for you. And here we are in this place. The first name of an organized Unitarian group in Montclair was the Liberal Christian Society. It was first gathered in 1869. That first group did not last, as there were so few folk living in these parts at that time. There were many other options for Sunday morning. But in 1897, as a wave of right-wing fundamentalist Methodism swept our nation, suggesting that the Bible should be read and accepted as a literal document, word to word, cover to cover, as if that were possible, a group of Montclair citizens met on a porch at 20 Clinton Avenue and decided they would dedicate themselves to presenting a liberal religious viewpoint to the township's children. At their meetings, according to the founding mother, Martha Brown, We discussed our problems. We read aloud from some solid book. And I don't know if that meant it was hardcover or softcover, but I think she meant something else. And of course, we finished with a social cup of tea. Maddie Hemphill, who was another of those founding mothers, she took the lead in organizing the Sunday school. In just a few months, attendance became so large for Sunday school that her home no longer could accommodate it. So they began looking for a space. Maddie Hemphill formed a women's alliance. That's what our alliance room is named after. And their chief function would be the support of that Sunday school. Sunday school happened here for months before they were worried about finding a preacher. And this is why we often urge as many of you as we can to teach, because teaching our religious education program is central to the DNA of this institution, and it is core to our mission and our vitality, especially our future. Our founding mothers began this beautiful community, and they were soon joined by the menfolk, as well as folks of all genders. And the result is a congregation that has been situated at the heart of the life of Montclair Township for 125 years. Indeed, it was on October 6, 1897, when 28 Montclair citizens officially founded this institution, which they named Unity Church. And their first act of business wasn't to find a preacher. It was to form 10 committees. The excitement must have been too much to bear. I mean, the pageantry, the fanfare, the bylaws. Don't worry, you'll have your chance for such excitement, in about 40 minutes as we update our bylaws. But seriously, congregations, any institution that wishes to do good work and to perpetuate needs good leaders. Leaders now, leaders tomorrow, and to honor past leaders. As I see now that I look out, a couple of our past leaders who have come to visit us. It's good to see the Showalters in attendance. Happy Sunday morning. Congregations, indeed, any institution trying to do good work needs sound policies because they operate on covenant. We agree how we're going to be in relationship, and we agree how we're going to restore right relationship if things don't go as planned, because we will not always be our best selves. Is that true, Reverend Anya?
Well, for one of us.
At least for one of us, that's true, I'm told. Yes. So this is why we talk so much about governing principles and policies and bylaws, all that exciting stuff. But what is a leader? Well, one definition says a leader is someone with followers. Sounds simple, right? But often when we're looking for the next leader, we're like, who do people pay attention to? When somebody organizes something, and who's following them, right? A leader is also someone who does what must be done, who does it the right way or does their best to do it the right way, someone who invites others to assist. A good leader is someone who teaches and nurtures them while they work, thanks them when they're finished, and looks for ways to invite new leaders into the fold, especially folks that are new to the institution or folks who represent different identities and constituencies, so we can learn new perspectives of what we're doing and perhaps how. Services like this one are a way that we teach about leadership and the opportunities for enrichment, pride, and relationship, all those things that leadership can provide. And leaders are not often found in the ways that we read about them in the Bible. We can't always wait until someone hears the voice of the divine calling in their sleep, as did Saul. And we can't always wait for a leader like Naomi to return home with a trusted companion. Is that why you're here? Showalters, are you coming back to? Okay, no, okay. We can't always wait for leaders like Naomi to return home from far away with a trusted companion like Ruth to fill our needs. So we need leaders now like the leaders we honored earlier, and like those leaders who made last night's Rising 20s benevolent bash a success. You'll be hearing more about the results of all that in the next day. But I just want to shout out to Susie Roman Luna, Sue Ralpher, Kathy Riley, Karen Freed, Francesca Elms, John, Sarah, Diane, everybody, the Lytles. I mean, I almost hesitate to start naming folks. I'm always afraid I'm going to miss somebody. Something like that took so many worker bees buzzing all night long. What all that proves is that congregational life is not a spectator sport. We need workers and troops and minions, strong, self-differentiated, mission-driven, covenant-honoring leaders. And we are blessed to have so many in this room right now. And I would say that simply being here today is a form of leadership. All people should make time to reflect on the world and their lives theologically. That's what we do every Sunday. We also gather to build beloved community and ponder the ultimate questions of meaning and existence as we discover how to be of service to something that transcends us, to something that brings about goodness and love. So thanks for adding your name to the list of mighty witnesses who have made this congregation a place of meaning, worship, healing, and justice for all these 125 years. And thanks for promising to keep doing so for now and the decades to come.
And a special thanks to those of you who were here past 1 o'clock last night, and you're here again now. I see you. I am amazed you are here. Thank you for your service. So there's a line in that song that we heard that was just done so brilliantly. Thank you. There's a line, "Can't add my name into the fight when I'm gone." And that's the one that hits me. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I really hope that my name is added to many fights. The fight for equity and inclusion, the fight for liberation, the fight for a congregation to persevere and even thrive during a once-in-a-lifetime epidemic like COVID-19. I hope my name is added to the fight to make Black lives matter and to ensure a living wage, the fight for reparations, the fight for our planet, the fight for trans lives. I hope my name is added, and I hope our congregation's name is added. I was proud when I saw the flyer for the Juneteenth March for Reparations in Newark on the 17th, proud that our name was there as a sponsor. Our name doesn't have to be up in lights, blinking, saying, "Look at me." My name doesn't have to be in neon, just there in the margins, as a footnote. That's all I want, there among the great cloud of witnesses that answered a call. My name's Anya. It was a pretty unique name when I was growing up in the farmlands of North Branford, Connecticut. So folks like to have a lot of fun with it. The stinkiest nickname I was given was Onion. And you would think with a name like that most people, at least those I knew well, would remember it. I was visiting my grandmother, my bubby, when I was around age 7, and I knocked on the door of the apartment, and I was too short for her to see me through the peephole. And so she said, "Who is it?" And I said, "Anya." And she said, "Anya who?" I was her only granddaughter. And I was named Anya. This story makes me laugh. My bubby was a character. but it can hurt when our names aren't remembered. I'm not so great at name retention. Rev Scott is a master. But I visit the memorial plaque every Sunday. I do that to remember the names of whose shoulders we stand upon, those whose lives are intertwined with our own, the ancestors of this congregation. And many Sundays, I look here to the left of the chancel to remember the name of this congregation some 125 years ago, Unity Church. The last line of the reading that Amy shared was, "We make a sanctuary and name it home." This reading is telling us what comes first, the chicken or the egg. What comes first, the sanctuary or our experience that it's home? We first make the sanctuary. We first make it beloved by our action, by our sweat, by our intention, by our conviction, by our love, by, as our Time for All Ages shared, by using your gold, by investing our gold in it. And then, and only then, when we feel that the sanctuary we know is beloved, it becomes our home. We first made this sanctuary and named it Unity Church. Later it became Unitarian Church of Montclair. And much later it became the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Montclair. 3 simple words changed from the second to the third. But my goodness, there was incredible intentioned conversation, debate, and deliberation. If you're a part of it, I see you shaking your head. You remember those conversations. Why are we at Montclair? Because our home is not of Montclair. We are more than Montclair, but we are situated here, and we have named this a congregation. Why? Why not church? Why not chapel? Why not society? Our home is a place where people of Jewish descent can feel comfortable. And our home is made up of people. So it's a congregation. It's not the building that matters, it's the people. This is our formal name. It's the name that brands our presence in the Pride Festival and the name that announces our commitment on the Reparations Juneteenth March. It is the name that attends child dedications, marriages, and memorial certificates. But it is not our only name. Each of us names this place according to the home that we find here. Let me explain. I'd rather if you didn't call me Onion. But you can call me Rev or Rev Anya, or if Rev gets caught in your throat, which I understand why it could, I'm fine with Pastor or even Anya. My mom calls me Honey. Rev Scott gives me the yes, dear. Only when necessary. We have different names for the people who comprise our home. In the Jewish scriptures, we read that Adonai gave Adam, the first human, the privilege to name the creatures of the earth. This, more than anything else in the book of Genesis, announces the deity's trust in Adam. We need to place that same trust in one another. This Unitarian Universalist congregation at Montclair, that is our official name. And if you call this place your church, your sanctuary, your home, your peeps, your community, your blessing, your holy, love-filled, hallelujah tabernacle, that is the particularity of your affection, claiming and naming your home. No one need take that away from you. First, we build the sanctuary. We invest it with all that we have, with all that we can, then we name it home. We each in our own way name it home. Amen. Do you want to rename this place the Love-Filled Tabernacle? Anybody? No, just kidding. That's not going to be in our annual meeting later today. But I invite you to reflect with me. What do you call this sanctuary when you call it something in that affectionate way of speaking? What do you call this congregation? Your name matters. And our closing song is Love Will Guide Us.
It's number 131. Love will guide us, lead us right us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. You are like no other being. You are like no other being. What you can give, no other can give. What you can give, no other can give. To the future of our precious children. To the future of the world where we live. Hear the song of peace within. Hear the song of peace in your heart. Each new beginning shall lead to the harvest. Love will guide us on our way. Love will guide us. Love will guide us. Lead us right us. Hold beside us. We'll lead the way on the road from free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard times. Love will guide us through the hard times. Love will guide us through the
I'm so glad you guys let me have so much fun while you're paying me to do all this. Congregational life is not a spectator sport, and you just proved that. We need workers, troops, minions, strong, self-differentiated, mission-driven, covenant-honoring leaders, and we're blessed to have so many in this room right now because simply being here today is a form of leadership.
And what we hope is that love will guide us in all that we do. May you feel that love when you find yourself here in this sanctuary and when you take a piece of this sanctuary with you wherever you go. Amen. We extinguish our chalice with our chalice extinguishing song.
All worship has ended, and our service begin. Go in peace, go in joy, go in love.
Rev Scott, you really should come up with an instrument to play that you can take with you, because the running back and forth thing. Yeah. So we want to say thank you so much to our musicians, to our worship participants. We want to say thank you to our tech team and those who are learning how to work the tech team. Thank you so much. Thank you to our greeters. Thank you to our volunteers. we invite you to please enjoy Connection Cafe for 5 minutes, and then come on back and share with us our annual meeting. If you have to leave and you're a voting member, please find someone that can be your proxy.